Yo, yo, yo. Welcome to the Herb of the Day show. I am your host and your boy, Herb Man. Appreciate all you guys for joining. Go tell somebody to tell somebody that your boy is on, man, and that we're about to go in and do this thing very big. I want to first give a shout out to all of you guys for continuing to support the station. If you're new to the program, if you're new to the Herb of the Day show, if you never want to miss another daily video, please hit that subscription button and please hit that notification bell as well so that you can be notified every time we upload a daily video. We're talking about some good stuff here, some very good heavy hitting herbal education. And also too, man, you know, we're talking about not only herbs, but we also go over diseases and talk about particular diseases and then how herbs can affect or be very effective for whatever issues you're dealing with. All right, now without further ado, let's go ahead and share this screen, man, and get you guys over into the herb of the day. You guys ready? Let's go. Share this screen here. Guys, let me know when you got it. Okay. So if you guys see that screen, again, this is the Herb of the Day show with your homie Herb Man. And our herb of the day here is a beautiful herb. And it goes by the name of Bistort. Okay. Bistort. And the origins of Bistort, again, this is another herb that grows in Europe. Now, I know I'm covering a lot of these herbs, and I know a lot of them are in Europe. But again, we're going to get to other herbs in other areas. We're just only in the bees, people. So be patient with me and allow us to go through the whole pantheon of herbs and try to disseminate them as we can. But Bistort here is also a perennial plant. And we know a perennial to be one that sheds throughout the year. It also too is a very temperate climate type of plant. All right, so it cannot handle extreme temperatures. Okay, it needs to be in a mild, consistently moderate climate. Now the growth of the particular Bistort here grows up to the height of 75 centimeters long, so it can grow pretty high. You know, not too high, but pretty high. It's not like it's in meters or anything, but centimeters is fairly okay type of plant here. Now, what are some of the historical uses of Bistort? Okay, and what are some of the historical understandings of Bistort? Well, first of all, we understand that the common name of Bistort is Adderwort. Okay, that is Adderwort, and the scientific name of Bistort is Polygonum Bistorta. Polygonum Bistorta, and it has a slew of other ways you can say it depending on what country you're from. Now, the parts used and the parts that we're going to be talking about mostly is about the root and the rhizomes, and you can also too use the leaves of Bistort. Okay, but those are the three main things that, you know, parts of the plant that you want to use. Now, what are some of the actions here? We see that Bistort has a powerful astringent action. Now, we know astringent to be one that constricts the body's tissues, so it will contract or constrict something. It also too has anti-inflammatory actions, meaning that it's going to be very good for stopping inflammation and pain. All right, it has a anti-catarrhal action. Now, anti-catarrhal is herbs that reduce the rate of the production of mucus within the body. Okay, and it normally helps with the nose, ears, and lungs and things of that nature. Nose, ears, and throat. I'm sorry. But if you're looking for an anti-catarrhal, those are going to be herbs that are going to reduce the rate of the production of the mucus, which is probably going to be something you're going to need if you're having a lot of mucus in your throat or in your lungs or something like that. It is also an anti-diarrheal, so it's very good at stopping the diarrhea. It is also has demulcent actions, and that is pretty much a herb that has a lot of mucilage, okay? And so if you're taking this herb internally, that mucilage is going to be good for things like sore throat, if you're having ulcers or any kind of internal bleeding, if you're having any type of intestinal issues and you need to coat those things, then you want to get with a herb that has a demulcent action or has mucilage, contains mucilage in it, okay? And so internally it's called a demulcent, and if a herb contains mucilage but you use it externally or for the skin, then it's just basically called a emollient, okay? So it's two of the same things, just depending on how you use it. It'll go from a demulcent to an emollient. All right. Now this also has anti-hemorrhagic action, which means it stops bleeding. So based on the action, you can kind of carve out what you may use this particular herb for. Now, historically, Bistort was used chiefly to arrest the flow of internal bleeding. And that is because, again, it has the anti-inflammatory action and the anti-hemorrhagic action. And it also, too, has been used for hemorrhaging from lungs, the stomach, and the bile, okay? So it's very good for stopping bleeding in those areas. If you're dealing with irritable or diverticulosis, or if you're dealing with urinary incontinence, or you're dealing with uterine infection with discharge, especially when you're talking about using this Bistort as a vaginal douche, then you can definitely do that. If you're dealing with ulcers in the mouth or spongy gums or any type of polypus in the nasal area, all you got to do is use the juice of a fresh plant of Bistort, or you can do it in a decoction and just inject it into your nostrils, and it'll open up, man. It'll kill all of that stuff. It's been used for nosebleed again. Anything dealing with bleeding in the nose, the ears, and the throat, anything dealing with mucus in the nose, the ears, and the throat, this is going to be pretty much your go-to if you're having any type of issues in the nose, ear, and throat area. Also for nosebleed, you can use the powder and snuff it into the nose. You can use this as a mouthwash if you're dealing with sore mouth, okay? So it has a lot of different ways you can be able to use it. Now, how do you prepare it? It's recommended that we do this whenever you're going to try to use it. You use it 3 times a day, all right? And the recommended way to do it is a decoction. Now, we know a decoction to be one where you're going to have to allow it to boil, okay? So when you're talking about boiling something, then you know you're talking about the root and the bark or the rhizomes of a particular thing. Leaves, you don't have to do all of that boiling. All you have to do is allow it to infuse, okay? So with this one, it says for internal use, you want to make a decoction, all right? And you want to take 1 heaping teaspoon of Bistort root to 1 cup of water, and you want to allow it to gently simmer for about 20 minutes. And then you want to drink about 1/2 cup freely, okay? Now, if you're going to use this for a douche, then you can take that same decoction and begin to use it to do a vaginal douche for yourself, okay, for all your uterine infections and discharges. It also, too, has been known to be in the liquid extract form. And if you're going to use that, you need about 15 to 30 drops. You're going to put that in some water, and then you can take it that way. Also, too, the powder form, you're going to do about 1/2 teaspoon in water or honey, all right? Now, when you're talking about a tincture for Bistort, you're going to do 1:5 ratio here, and you can do it in about 25% alcohol. Now, normally when you do tinctures, we normally go with the vodka, okay? Vodka has a really good way of bringing out the additives and the essentials in the plants and roots and stuff like that. So anytime you're doing a tincture, just make sure you're doing it with vodka. Now, when you're doing the doses here, recommended dose for the tincture is 1 to 3 milliliters, okay? And you're going to do about 15 to 45 drops of this tincture. You put it in the water, you'll gargle it for mouthwash, or you can use it for an ointment, depending on what you actually are using it for. Now, you guys need to remember that when using these herbs here, you definitely want to consult your physician, because I am not a doctor, okay? So make sure that you're consulting your physician here when you're dealing with the herb. Now, again, Bistort is a very beautiful plant to me. I love the way that this particular plant looks. I mean, it you know, the pinks and everything are very beautiful to the eye, but it also too has a lot of different other ways that you can utilize this particular herb. It's been known to be a cooling herb. So if you're dealing with heat in the body, you may want to try to use it for cooling yourself down. Also, too, as we can see, it's been known for gum diseases. You can also use Bistort for wounds. It's been known to be used for smallpox. Again, it's been also used for external bleeding and skin infections and skin eruptions, measles, the burns. I mean, you go down the list, this thing has been used for a lot of different things. And so that's why we kind of want to always give you these herbs, because a lot of you guys haven't even heard of these herbs, you know. And so that's the whole greatness to the programming, is that we're learning about herbs that we don't normally hear about. And these things are very, very efficient and very effective. Now, the most effective that you're going to see Bistort is going to be for diarrhea and sore throat. And again, it's for diarrhea because, again, it acts as a demulcent. And so a lot of time that mucus will allow the body to kind of normalize itself, and it will stop, you know, runny, diarrhea and all that type of stuff. It will put a stop to that. But also too, because of its demulcent action, it will soothe any type of sore throat issue you got going on. I mean, that's just the bottom line. Anytime you see a herb that has demulcent action, it's going to be good for, you know, all of that type of stuff going down. Add an extra coat of mucus to your body. But also too, remember that it also has a reduction rate of mucus. So it acts twofold. It can provide you mucus, but it can also too reduce the mucus in your body. So that's the eclectiveness, and that's the beauty of these herbs, man. So I encourage all you guys to continue to keep reading about the herbs, looking at the herbs, continue to keep doing your research, doing your homework on these herbs. They should be very beneficial to you if you continue to keep looking at them, continue to keep researching. If you guys don't want to take the time to do your own research, then hey, breeze our channel. That's what we're here for. That's what your boy Herb Man is here for, man, is to give it to you in a concise time where you don't have to do all the research and the homework, because I have. But we still want to encourage you guys to do everything you can, especially when you're talking about putting anything in your body. We want you to do the research first. All right, so this has been your episode of Herb of the Day. I'm your homie Herb Man. I love you guys, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. And until next time, tell somebody, tell somebody. Peace.